Hey guys, been a few weeks. I figure I might as well update you on how the party went and what's happened to my channel. I'm just not very good at learning from my own mistakes, it seems. I went to this party dressed as Hadushka Batu. The party was great. First of all, I'll talk about the party. The party was all right. It was a lot smaller than I thought it would be. There was only, I think, 5 or 6 people, more 6 or 7 people at the most, 2 of which were the guy's parents. There was lots of food and there was lots of drink, but the house itself was very small. It was one of those really small, tightly packed Victorian terraced houses, and it was a bit of a fixer-upper. I mean, some of the floorboards had been taken out, and there was this really small, narrow, winding staircase. So it wasn't exactly the kind of atmosphere you'd expect from a normal house party, but it was still a good time. We still had ourselves some great fun. 2 guys, more or less as I predicted, had dressed themselves up as SS officers. One guy came in dressed as Gandalf. And it was really sweet. He had his wife and his young daughter with him as well, and it's refreshing to see what lots of other people come dressed as when there's no given theme for a fancy dress party. And luckily, everyone recognized who I was. People pointed and said, "Hey, I know who you're dressed up as. You're dressed as that migrant from Epping who went missing." So that maybe, yeah, that brought a smile to my face. In terms of what actually happened at the party, well, it was very much, it kind of sort of like it had all the atmosphere of just an ordinary sleepover party. We just played some video games. We watched 2 movies near the end. I think we watched Aliens, and then there was this movie that we saw. It was about Thomas Becket, who was an English monk who later became the Archbishop of Canterbury. No, wait, he wasn't a monk, was he? He was I think he was a minister, an advisor to King Henry the Second, Henry the Third. I forgot. I mean, it's been years since I last learned this, when I was in secondary school. But yeah, it was a film about Thomas Becket, which I really enjoyed, and I thought the acting was very good. I also learned a bit about English history, which is always a nice bonus when you watch a film. And I'm really, on all things being equal, even though it cost me an arm and a leg to get over there, I had to pay upwards of £100 to take the ferry across to the mainland. I had to refuel my car on the way back. I got some food while I was driving all the way up to Ipswich, because it was a long journey, and the longer I go on without food, the worse I am at saving money. That's the thing about me. And so obviously my wallet wasn't looking too kindly at me for that particular occasion, but all things considered, I'm glad that I went there. I had a good time, and it would have been better than the alternative, just sitting, waiting at home and saving money. You gotta live a little every now and then. You gotta do things and go outside your comfort zone where possible. And we flirted with the idea of seeing each other again at some point at New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. However, it's been weeks since the party, and I've sent him text messages, and he must be busy because I haven't gotten a response back from him yet. I guess he's a married man and a homeowner now, and his schedule must be a lot busier, a lot more packed than mine is at the moment, that's for sure. But anyway, I would like to see him again. Now, let's get to the matter of what happened with my channel. So, as one can predict, I'm probably going to put a surprised Pikachu face for the thumbnail of this video, because part of me wondered if this would happen, but at the same time, I suppose, the addictive thrill, the dopamine rush of doing something so outrageous and offensive, yet also topical and politically relevant. I couldn't help myself. I recorded a series of YouTube shorts with myself in blackface, pretending to be Hadush Kabatu, making a series of parody vlogs where I was talking about, hello, why the British government deport me? My rights are being violated, isn't it? And there was also a video of me singing Little Girls by Oingo Boingo. And you know what sucks? I'm not mad that the videos got taken down and I got a community strike, because in hindsight, I knew that was going to happen. It's just that the videos barely picked up views in triple figures. Like, hardly anyone watches my videos. Who keeps reporting my videos to YouTube? And why does YouTube keep taking them down? I'm not big enough to be banned yet. Just let me live. What is going on, man? Anyway, I had to, as soon as it happened really fast. One of my videos got taken down and I got issued a warning for quote-unquote child safety. That was the first Hadush vlog video that I did, where I talked about, if there are any, please let me kiss them. Maybe I should be careful of how I talk about that on this, in case, lest I end up getting another one. Who can say, right? But anyway, that first video got taken down, and the reason was, allegedly, it was because of child safety. And I rolled my eyes and thought, yeah, give me a break. We both know this isn't about child safety. Come on, man. And then the next, almost, what was it, hours later, I think by the following morning, another video got taken down for, what was it, hate speech. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. It's like, yeah, on the one hand, it sucks, but also, what did you expect? But come on, are we really giving out hate speech community notices to people just for making fun of foreign criminals now? It really teaches you something about the YouTube moderation staff and where their loyalties really lie, and what they consider acceptable and not acceptable on their platform. It's like, I don't believe in the least that they genuinely care about child safety, or even that they care about racism or racial abuse, because I'm convinced that they definitely would have allowed it if it were the other way around. If I were from an ethnic minority background and I was making fun of somebody who was British but who had said things that were politically insensitive or, hate speech. But anyway, I'm kind of in a difficult position. I was banned from posting videos or posting any community updates for a whole week. The ban has since been lifted. I can't remember how many days it's been since your community strike gets erased. But for now, it seems like I gotta watch what I say again. And if push comes to shove, it may well be that I have to migrate back to my old channel, or I might have to create a third one. That's right, because for those of you who aren't aware, this is my second channel. My old channel has exactly the same name with a different profile picture, but I had to ditch that channel and move to this one because the same thing happened last time over there, and I didn't even dress up in blackface for that. I was just giving my unvarnished thoughts on the state of the world and why mass immigration is ruining the country. I've seen loads of podcasters say pretty much the exact same things that I do. How is it that they're able to get past censorship and community strikes, but I'm not? Like, what is it that they're doing? Part of me wonders a lot of the time, it's not that what I'm saying is substantively or qualitatively different to what they are. It's not that I'm more or less careful of skirting around their guidelines in such a way to give them plausible deniability. It's just that the rules are applied differently for me as a person as they are for everyone else. And part of me wonders that whether or not life is actually a simulation where you will observe different things happen to different people, but the outcome But whatever happens to you in any situation will always be different to what you expect, and it will never happen in a consistent manner such that you can predict what it will be, because that's the purpose of the simulation. But that's how I feel sometimes. I'm not actually one of those simulation theorists, although maybe I'll get into that in a different videos, or maybe I won't. I'm terrible when it comes to making promises. I often make promises of videos that I'm going to make in the near future, and weeks, months roll by and I've forgotten all about them. There's anybody who could tally up all the broken promises I've made in the comment section, that'd be very helpful and handy. It would give me a life's worth of content that I could focus on if I'm to grow up my channel. Anyway, that was the Halloween party was weeks ago. My channel has since regained access to making videos and community, the community tab. I'm trying to think what else has been going on. Oh yeah, I got paid for the first time with my new job, and I'm really pleased, because I feared that I was never going to be able to earn enough money to pay off my credit card debt. But I just about did. Even though I spent all those unplanned expenses on taking the ferry over to the mainland and grabbing a Starbucks and a Subway, etc., and fueling costs, I earned just the right amount of money so that now my credit card debt has gone to zero. And I'm really pleased. However, I still need to be careful and not spend too much money by the time my next paycheck comes over, which will be on the 15th. Yeah, they pay me on the 15th, I'm not sure why, of next month. And this is going to be a huge challenge for me, right? Because it's going to be Black Friday, and there's lots of good deals on Black Friday. I'm not one of those people I don't consider myself an habitual consumer or somebody who loves going out shopping, splashing out my life savings on great deals. But you know how I love composing music. You know I'm obsessed with, well, there are two amazing good deals on these music plugins, and they're only going to be available for a limited time. And it just so happens that we're transitioning into late November, early December. This is the Black Friday discount period. I'm probably, knowing the kind of person I am, I'm probably going to give in. I make so many pledges to save more money, but I know what I'm like. I know that I have a weakness when it comes to splashing cash on good deals. And I often comfort myself in the solace of knowing that now that I've spent my money on these deals, I won't be tempted to buy them again. So I can cross them off the list that by the time the next Black Friday comes over. Except that's probably not going to happen. There'll probably come along some other great deal by next Black Friday, and the same thing will happen and no lessons will be learned. Anyway, that's just the kind of person I am. And yeah, I thought I'd update you with my life situation so far, so you guys now know what happens. Anyway, this has been Tracking. You guys take care, everyone. Good day.